Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. Now Bungie have just finished their very first House of Wolves livestream, in which they gave us a tour of the new Reef social space. They showed us some of the new vendors, some of the things we'll be doing there, and they also showed us how we're going to be upgrading our old weapons and gear to bring them up in line with the new light level cap, which by the way is level 34. And on top of all of that, they also showed a fair few other things as well. They literally packed so much stuff into that hour-long live stream, and it has got me so unbelievably hyped for May 19th. For when House of Wolves drops, I genuinely cannot wait to jump back in and start working towards all that cool stuff. So, given that there was so much information, I am going to try and condense as much of it as possible into this video. So first up, besides obviously seeing the social space itself, the very first person they went to visit is this lady here, who we saw in the 30-second teaser yesterday, wielding a knife, and people were speculating as to who she might be, but now we know for a fact that she is Petra Venj, and she is going to be our Arekkz equivalent in the House of Wolves. We'll be getting a lot of our stuff from her, and she will be a key person to the storytelling. Just like with Arekkz, she has her own reputation system. This time it's the Queen's Wrath, and while you may recognise a few of the things in her stock from the old Queen's Wrath bounty, there is also a lot of new stuff. Just like Arekkz, she'll give you quests and bounties, plus once you start ranking up, you can get emblems from her, you can get shaders, and you can even get a ship. And they actually inspected the ship and it looks so flipping badass. Look at this is like the craziest ship I have ever seen. And if you were around when the Queen's Wrath came around the first time, you'll recognise that as one of the ships, or at least the design of the ship, looks like the Queen's emissary ships they had before, obviously just without the banner and the yellow and gold paint scheme. Personally, I have my eye on those shaders. Look at that red and black one. I did a video a while back where I actually kind of speculated what some colours would look like, and I actually put together a Photoshop mock-up of what I would like a shader to look like if I could design my own one, and it looked remarkably like that one. We unfortunately didn't get a preview of those, so I cannot wait to try and check that one out for myself, but either way, those look awesome. Then after that, we got to look at this chap here, who is very clearly a Fallen. He is Arekkz the Loyal. He is actually a Fallen from the House of Judgment, which is an old Fallen house, and he is said to be the only one remaining from that house. And he, as you can see, looks very sort of battle worn. He's been through his own trials himself, and he is the one. He's going to be our go-to guy for the Prison of Elders. He too has his own reputation system, as you can see on the left-hand side, and then looking on the right, you can see at various different milestones, House of Judgment rank 1, rank 2, and rank 3, you can also acquire different things. However, the really cool thing about this guy is the way in which you receive the gear. See, as you know right now, in raids, we go through a raid, and you defeat a section or you defeat a boss, and you have to rely on RNG to give you the reward. Meaning that at times, you'll either get nothing at all, or you might get the same thing over and over again. Now yes, the Prison of Elders will still have RNG, and things will still drop, which means there is still a random element to it, and you will still randomly be awarded things. However, they did say during the live stream that there will be multiple challenges you can do within the Prison of Elders, and in exchange for completing these challenges, you can turn them into Arekkz in exchange for high level gear. As you can see at the top, it says Prison of Elders rewards. There's a gauntlet, there's a gun, which by the way we got a chance to look at, and it looks flipping insane. Take a look at this. This looks absolutely insane. And he also has an item over to the right called Judgment's Chance, which says attain for a chance to acquire Prison of Elders rewards. Now looking at the requirements, it says you need an armor core and a weapon core for these. Now this wasn't discussed in the stream, and this is something they will obviously discuss in the Prison of Elders specific stream, which comes in 2 weeks time, but I'm going to speculate that these are items you will find within the Prison of Elders. And that there could well be akin to, say, a Prison of Elders style engram, whereby you then get it and you can randomly have a chance of winning something. However, randomness aside, the items to the left you can obviously still exchange once you come out of the Prison of Elders. We don't know exactly yet what you'll need to do, however the nice thing about this is striking the balance. Just like it is with the Iron Banner for example, there's always a couple of items that you can buy guaranteed, while the rest of it you earn randomly through RNG. And this list here, it was also confirmed that it will rotate each week, meaning that if you stick at this long enough and you aren't lucky with RNG, then eventually you will be able to buy all the things you need. There will also, just like with all other activities, be a weekly lockout. So there will still be a finite number of things you can do in the Prison of Elders before you have to wait till the weekly reset. However, it was said that there will be multiple challenges and multiple things you can do within the Prison of Elders, so you don't just have to go in 1 week and do one single thing and then have to wait another week. Again, we'll find out more about this in 2 weeks time, May 6th, that is when they're doing the Prison of Elders livestream. The other interesting thing about this guy as well is if you look down at House of Judgment rank 1 and rank 2, you'll see that they have house-specific items, all of which represent a different Fallen house, and the ships too mirror that down below. So it looks like finally you'll actually be able to sort of represent certain Fallen houses. Then the next person we got to take a look at was Brother Vance, who is a disciple of Osiris. Now again, the Trials of Osiris stream is next week, so they were again quite reserved about what they actually said this week. However, if you look at his inventory, you'll see at the top there were Trials rewards. Now Deej didn't actually scan over any of the rewards, so I can't read the descriptions for those. However, looking at the ones below, the Trials supplies, you have 3 different options. You have the Favour of Osiris, the Mercy of Osiris, and the Boon of Osiris. Now as we know with the Trials of Osiris, it all hinges on winning lots of matches consecutively. And if you look at these, you can see these are sort of like buffs or modifiers or kind of boosts to sort of help you out. The first one, the Favour of Osiris, means that you've been granted a favour and you will start the trial with a win already awarded. So that means the second you begin your first match, it already counts you having won one match. The Mercy of Osiris means that you've been granted mercy and your first loss in the trials will be forgiven, i.e. if you lost, then you can use this to kind of erase that loss, so therefore it doesn't mean you're going to be kicked out quite so soon. And the Boon of Osiris says that you've been granted a boon, winning your first trials match will count as 2. So again, if you're working towards any of those bounties, that's going to be quite useful. All of these, however, will cost passage coins, which you can see down below he does sell. We don't quite know in exchange for what just yet, however we do obviously know that Brother Vance is the person we're going to be going to buy these. Now, as for the Trials of Osiris itself, because it does have such awesome gear and it's also got endgame gear, and it is an integral part of Destiny's endgame content, unlike Iron Banner, it won't be quite so infrequent. Trials of Osiris will instead run every single weekend, meaning you will have regular chances to try and earn that gear and try and earn all that favour you need. Then after that, we got a look at this chap, Berg9940, who's basically Xander's brother. This is the Reef's equivalent of the bounty tracker, simply because if you're in the Reef and you want to get some bounties, you don't then need to trek all the way back to the tower. And to the right of him, that is where you'll find the vaults, these kind of ATM looking machines. And to the right of those is the Postmaster. Also something worth noting, while they were kind of walking around the tower, we got a quick glimpse at this guy over here, Master Ives, who is the Reef's Cryptarch. That's right, there is going to be another ruthless blue guy who's going to be decoding your engrams. This time he has his hood down so you get to see a better look at his face, but I imagine he's still going to be just like his brother. So, that, my friends, was a quick summary of the tour of the Reef. However, the livestream covered more than just that. The livestream also covered weapon upgrades, and for that we returned to the tower. See, the tower is still going to be relevant. It's not going to be one of those things where suddenly the Reef is here and nobody ever goes back to the tower. In fact, aside from just weapon upgrades, there's quite a few cool new things. They first started off by taking us all the way to the Speaker, who now has a currency exchange system. See, one complaint they had before was that Destiny had so many different currencies that it did get quite confusing. So you'll now see that the Speaker can exchange various different things. You can swap Ascendant Energy for Ascendant Shards and vice versa, and you can use Ascendant Shards to purchase things like Glimmer or Motes of Light. Then they took a quick detour and stopped off at the new Monarchy faction guy, and all factions have been given complete new sets of gear. New gear and new weapons. So there's reason to go back to them and check them out, because some of the stuff does look really, really cool. They then also stopped off at Lord Shaxx and showed some more new gear. Now this is some of the stuff we saw from the leaked screenshots a while back, but either way, seeing it all equipped at once does look really awesome. The point is, there is a hell of a lot of new stuff to check out. However, they then turned their attention to the upgrades. This is the thing that everybody wants to know about. Now upgrades apply to both weapons and gear, and in order to perform an upgrade, you need an item known as Etheric Light. And this can be acquired from a variety of endgame activities. You have a chance of getting them from the Prison of Elders, the Trials of Osiris, Heroics, Nightfalls, and even the Iron Banner. So you can see there are plenty of different sources to get these from, and then when you do have them, if you then go to this gold node on your items, you can use that to upgrade it and bring it in line with the new level cap. So if that's gear, that means it allows you to attain level 34, and if that's weapons, that means you'll be able to get 365 attack. And the most important thing, as you can see in the demonstration, is that if you upgrade an existing weapon, not only can you do it yourself, it doesn't hinge on Zur, but it also does not reset your progress. Meaning, if you've fully maxed out a weapon and you then upgrade it, you simply use that material and job done. You've then got a fully maxed out 365 weapon without having to go through and do it all over again, which was one of the big complaints before. And the news just keeps on getting better. You do not have to have the DLC to get to level 34. Now do bear in mind that some of these activities are obviously exclusive to the DLC. Trials of Osiris, the Prison of Elders. However, as I said earlier, you can also get Etheric Light from Nightfalls and Heroics. So if, for example, you have Vanilla Destiny and you don't want to buy the House of Wolves, then you can still attain level 34, it'll just take you a little bit longer. In fact, considerably longer. If you have a chance of them dropping in a Nightfall and a Heroic, it might be weeks before you have enough to upgrade all your items. However, if you do have all the DLCs and you can simply go through and do the Prison of Elders, you can do Trials of Osiris, you can do Iron Banner, Nightfalls, Heroics, you can potentially hit the Motherlode, get all the Etheric Light you need, and you'll be 34 much quicker. It is worth noting that all of the endgame activities do still require you to progress through the actual House of Wolves story, so you won't be jumping straight into the Prison of Elders to try and earn that Etheric Light just so you can hit level 34 straight away. You are going to need to progress through the House of Wolves story. And there's one more thing. If you purchase any weapons from the House of Wolves, this does not apply to non-House of Wolves legendaries, so anything from Vanilla Destiny or anything from the Dark Below, but if you purchase a House of Wolves legendary weapon, you can then go to the gunsmith to re-roll that weapon, which now makes the gunsmith finally much more viable. Up until now, I've basically never gone to him, apart from when I need to buy blue fusion rifles, or the occasional ammo synthesis if I haven't got it from Zur. Now, however, you'll see that not only does he sell weapon telemetries, meaning you don't need to rely on Zur for those, but you can also re-roll your House of Wolves legendary weapons. That, my friends, is awesome. If you buy a House of Wolves legendary weapon and you really like the weapon itself, but you just don't like the perks, you can re-roll it and you can then get some better perks. Obviously that is completely random and it might be a few re-rolls until you get what you want, but the option is now there, making the gunsmith far more viable. And that, my friends, is pretty much it. That is me trying to condense all that information down as much as possible, but as you can see, there is so much stuff they've already gone through. I am literally so hyped. I sat there watching the whole thing, recording it for you guys, and I was so hyped throughout the whole thing. There's just so many things I want to see and so many things I cannot wait to just try out for myself, so I genuinely cannot wait till May the 19th. And it doesn't stop there. Don't forget that next week Bungie are going to be doing a live stream of the Trials of Osiris, so we're going to find out much more of that, and there's also supposed to be a second social space on Mercury, so I am really looking forward to that. Plus, the week after that, we get our first look at the Prison of Elders. So there is so much stuff on the horizon, and if you missed this week's stream but do not want to miss any in the future, then make sure you head over to twitch.tv/Bungie and hit that follow button. Aside from that, that is it from me. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of all of this. What are your thoughts on the new upgrade system? What are your thoughts on the new gear? What do you think of the Reef? All that stuff, just talk to me down below. I really want to kind of start talking to you guys about House of Wolves, see how hyped you are, and all that good stuff. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below just everything you're thinking right now. But aside from that, thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.